Manchester United arrive in London with devastating form. But what awaits them is not just West Ham, it is a genuine survival battle. A clash between two opposing worlds at opposite ends of the Premier League table. United are accelerating in the race for the top four, while West Ham are fighting desperately to survive. One side travels with the momentum of consecutive victories. The other is driven by pure survival instinct, fully aware that every single point at this stage is worth its weight in gold. A Manchester United side hitting top gear meets a West Ham team with no way back. Round 26 of the Premier League offers a fixture that is compelling not only because of the names involved, but because of the contrasting circumstances surrounding both clubs. United arrive at the London Stadium with ambition and upward momentum, while West Ham step onto the pitch with the mindset of a team battling for its life. It is a collision between Champions League ambition and relegation survival. Under Michael Carrick, Manchester United are showing the image of a team that understands where its strengths lie and how it must play to win. 4 consecutive victories have not only delivered points but also restored belief, the most valuable asset during the most demanding phase of the season. Meanwhile, West Ham are no longer an easy side to dominate. They have become tougher, more pragmatic, and more dangerous when pushed into a corner. The intersection between strong form and extreme pressure is precisely what makes this encounter one of the most unpredictable fixtures of the round. Manchester United travel to London having won 4 straight matches under Carrick. A convincing 2-0 victory over Tottenham kept them firmly in 4th place and maintained pressure on the teams above. The attack is scoring consistently. The midfield is controlling the tempo, and the defense has shown the required level of concentration. Yet within this positive picture, there remains a lingering concern. London Stadium has never been kind to the Red Devils. On their last 3 visits here, Manchester United have left empty-handed. Current form is on their side, but history is not, and that contrast is exactly what makes this match so difficult to predict. West Ham, who struggled through a crisis in the early stages of the season, now look like a very different side. Under the guidance of Nuno Espirito Santo, the Hammers have become more disciplined, more resilient, and above all, more pragmatic. 4 wins in their last 5 matches across all competitions are no coincidence. They are the product of a collective that understands how to play for the ultimate objective, survival. The 2-0 victory over Burnley in the previous round did more than secure 3 points, it reignited belief. West Ham are no longer playing with fear, they are playing like a team that genuinely believes it can stay up. However, their problems persist at home. London Stadium has not been a fortress this season, especially against strong opponents who dominate possession and accelerate down the flanks. Against such sides, West Ham are often forced into a deep defensive block, a scenario likely to be repeated against Manchester United. On the opposite side, Manchester United are showing a fresher look under Carrick. The football is simpler but more effective. Fewer touches, more off-the-ball movement, quicker ball circulation, and earlier shots rather than prolonged build-up. 4 consecutive wins, scoring at least twice in each match, provide clear evidence of progress. More importantly, the mentality has changed. United now play with confidence, proactively controlling possession, applying pressure, and accelerating sharply when space appears. This is the image of a team that believes in its system and in itself. One side is desperate for points to survive. The other is chasing points to climb higher. When motivation on both sides reaches its peak, the match is guaranteed to be physical and intense. When 2 teams with opposing objectives collide, tactics become not just a system, but a statement of survival. Manchester United will not relinquish control, especially against a West Ham side fighting for every point to escape danger. That approach has underpinned the current winning run. West Ham, by contrast, are prepared to concede possession in exchange for the chance to strike with a lethal counterattack. The game is therefore likely to become a battle between patient positional play and opportunistic punishment of mistakes. The focal points of the match will be the key zones where even a momentary lapse in concentration can be punished. Pace on the flanks, creativity through the middle, and set pieces could all become decisive factors. This is not just a contest of technical quality, but a tactical chess match between 2 managers employing completely different approaches, one seeking to impose, the other waiting to deliver the decisive blow. The tactical center of gravity lies in midfield, where Bruno Fernandes must find ways to escape the attention of Souček and Potts. If Bruno is given time and space to operate, Manchester United will create chances. If he is suffocated, United's attacking rhythm could become blunt. Carrick remains loyal to the 4-2-3-1 structure. Casemiro provides experience and defensive protection, while Mainu helps the team break pressure with composure and clean ball progression. Ahead of them, Bruno is granted full creative freedom. On the flanks, Diallo on the right and Cunha on the left stretch the defensive line, opening central lanes for Mbeumo to attack. Manchester United currently attack in a very direct manner. They do not monopolize possession for its own sake, instead favoring one-touch combinations at high tempo. When the speed increases, it becomes extremely difficult for opponents to maintain compact defensive distances. West Ham, by contrast, are likely to defend deep. Nuno understands that engaging United in an open contest at this moment would be suicidal. Instead, they will wait for counter-attacking opportunities, utilizing the pace of Somerville and the intelligent movement of Bowen and Castellanos. That is where the danger zones emerge. The duel between Somerville and Dalot is particularly noteworthy. Dalot pushes high up the pitch in United's system, providing attacking dominance on the right, but also leaving space behind him. If Somerville times his runs well, West Ham could generate extremely dangerous counter-attacks. In central areas, Bruno Fernandes remains the master key. One moment of lost concentration from West Ham's midfield could allow him to split the defense with a decisive pass. When Bruno operates freely with space, Manchester United almost always produce clear chances. Up front, any attacking player United field at this moment is capable of giving Mavropanos and Disasi a difficult night. Mbeumo's ability to drop deep and drift wide will stretch the defensive line, opening space for second-line runners. A single slow reaction could see West Ham punished. However, Manchester United must remain cautious at set pieces. Souček is a constant aerial threat, and a well-delivered corner or free kick could break the deadlock instantly. Todibo's suspension represents a major loss for West Ham, depriving them of their best defensive cover. The spaces between centre-back and full-back are particularly vulnerable, areas United can exploit, especially through late runs from Bruno or Cunha. This will be a test of patience. Manchester United must control the tempo and stretch the defensive block, while West Ham must absorb pressure and wait for the right moment to strike back. In decisive matches such as this, team selection is always a clear reflection of tactical intent. Manchester United benefit from stability, with the core structure maintaining high performance levels despite injuries to players such as De Ligt, Mason Mount and Dorgu. This allows Carrick to avoid unnecessary changes and continue trusting a system that is functioning smoothly in both attack and defense. When a system is delivering consecutive victories and consistent performances, there is no reason for a coach to take risks. United are therefore expected to line up once again in their familiar 4-2-3-1. Onana is likely to start in goal, behind a back four of Dalot, Maguire, Lisandro Martinez and Luke Shaw. Casemiro and Mainu anchor the midfield, balancing defensive security with ball progression. Bruno Fernandes plays as the attacking midfielder, with Diallo and Cunha on the wings and Mbeumo leading the line. This structure provides balance between control, tempo management, and attacking penetration, an approach that has already proven effective against top-6 opposition. For West Ham, Todibo's suspension forces Nuno Espirito Santo to reshuffle his defense. Disasi is expected to partner Mavropanos in central defense. The 4-2-3-1 shape remains, but with a clear emphasis on defensive solidity and counter-attacking. West Ham are likely to start with Areola in goal, a back four of Wan-Bissaka, Mavropanos, Disasi and Dean. Souček and Potts operate as holding midfielders, with Bowen, Matheus Fernandes and Somerville supporting Castellanos up front. This setup clearly reflects West Ham's intention: prioritize duels, maintain compact spacing, and transition quickly when space appears behind United's defensive line. West Ham enter the match driven by survival and supported by their home crowd. But Manchester United hold the edge in squad quality, form, and confidence. The psychological barrier of past defeats at London Stadium remains significant, yet the current momentum could provide the catalyst for United to overcome it. This is likely to be a tight encounter. United will need patience against a low block and vigilance against rapid counter-attacks. There may be periods of pressure on the visitors, But if Bruno continues to dictate play and the attack remains sharp, one moment of brilliance may be enough. A narrow victory for Manchester United is a scenario many supporters are beginning to anticipate. Not an explosive performance, but a calm, precise, and clinical display, exactly what is required to sustain a Champions League push from a team that is truly finding its rhythm. Manchester United may possess superior quality and momentum, but West Ham have the invisible weapon of having no way back. In matches like this, fighting spirit can narrow any gap in class. London Stadium therefore promises an unforgiving battle, where every duel carries the weight of seasonal objectives. United need victory to remain at the top end of the table. West Ham need points to keep survival hopes alive. When motivation reaches its limit, the outcome may be decided by a single flash of quality, a minor mistake, or a perfectly executed set piece.